What's up? What's up with it? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. What's happening with it? Y'all know when you come in the building, make sure that you smash on that like button and jump in the comment section. Let me know y'all in the building. Valentine, what's happening with it? You said you thought they wouldn't fight. I mean, I ain't seen no fight happen. Have you? Let me get to cooking. For real. I'm standing on what I said, but salute to you. And like I said, as y'all come in the building, make sure that y'all hit that like button. Mike Ryan, what's happening with it? Salute. Knockout Boxing 86 TV, what's good with it? He says, finally back at the crib, ready to listen to some boxing talk and get some work done. Man, I feel you. Uh, Omega Red, salute. Phil J508, what's happening with it? Mike Oliver, what's happening with it, champ? Yes, sir. So, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to talk about. Uh, and like I said, as y'all come in the building, make sure that you smash on that like button. Oh man, I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I can't complain. Yeah, so make sure that y'all, smash on the like button when you come in the building and jump in the comment section. Let me know that you in the building. Mox G, what's happening with it? Salute. DP Rocker, what's happening with it? Man, Robert Pitts, what's good with it, man? Salute. Yes, sir. Uh, it's a lot going on in boxing, a lot of talk going on in boxing. And let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is I touched on it a little bit yesterday. You know, the fight between George Cambosos and the fight between George Cambosos and my man. Ah, damn! I just lost all train of thought right now. Um, Goddamn, Teofimo Lopez, right? The fight between George Cambosos and Teofimo Lopez, it looked like it's about to go down. They're gonna have it in Madison Square Garden, and it's coming up in October. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of October. So this fight, oh man, it's crazy. This fight was supposed to take place way back in June. Now the fight not taking place until October. So it's a lot of things that was going on behind the scenes with this fight. Matter of fact, Teofimo Lopez, ever since he signed that new contract with Top Rank, Teofimo was doing anything and everything he could do to get out of the fight with George Kambosos. I don't know what it was with, what happened with the Triller thing and all of that, but it's a lot of fishy shit going on with, with just Top Rank uh, all around, with Top Rank all around, right? Because we know that Top Rank and Teofimo Lopez had a purse bid, right? They had a purse bid for the Kambosos fight, and we all know that Top Rank bid it on the fight, but Triller and DAZN outbid them on the fight. So we all thought everything was set in stone. We all thought, once Triller outbid them on the fight, Triller came out and told everybody how much they're going to pay Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? And Teofimo got to run in his mouth, talking about he'll never fight at Top Rank again. Top Rank didn't want to pay him what he was worth. He's not never going to do business with them. He's about to become a free agent. He's going to be out of his contract. Y'all remember that? Did y'all forget all of that, right? He said all of that. He said he would never do business with Top Rank again. And he was talking big shit because he thought that Triller, picked up the fight and Triller was going to pay him all this money, but we still don't have no fight. And that was a purse bid fight, right? We still don't have no fight. Now, months and months later, they finally saying, okay, well, they finally came to agreement and they finally gonna fight in October. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of fishy shit going on with Top Rank, period. Now, recently, Bob Arum, he did an interview and he talked about how the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight is not going to happen. And he tried to say the fight not going to happen because he tried to say the fight is not going to happen because Al Heyman is going to tell Errol Spence, oh, brother, don't do business with them. Don't do no business with them. You don't need to go over there and do, all of that shit. Well, where's your money? Because I thought last time I checked, you had the top pound for pound fighter in the world, Bob Arum. So where is your money? How come you don't want to put no money up? Because I'm pretty sure that if you came out of your pockets for one of these fights, right, or met Al Heyman halfway, but see, you don't want to do none of that, and you trying to make it a thing to make everybody on the PBC look bad, like, oh, they just don't want to do business with us. When everybody knows you don't pay no money. You've come out of your mouth and, oh, this fight, the fight just don't make sense. It's not going to make any money. You saying that about every fight that has to do with a PBC fighter. You always talking about it's not going to make no money. Who's going to pay for the fight? Yeah, it's a good fight, but I'm not paying for it. So why are you trying to flip it around on PBC and try to pretend like that they're the main reason when everybody knows that should know that y'all really don't do business with each other? It's just not a PBC not doing business with Top Rank. It goes both ways. So, and then you got Teofimo Lopez. He signed under you, and you made it very, very difficult. Right, you made ever since he re-signed with you, Teofimo Lopez been acting funny about fighting on the Triller event. So I don't know. It's a whole lot of funny business going on. Do y'all think that this fight between Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, do y'all think that this fight will be successful? You think it'll do good? Because, Triller do all their events on pay-per-view. So, do y'all think this event will do well? The purse bid for Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford, and we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that. But the purse bid with Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford, that purse bid will go down next week. Next week, right? Give me a second, y'all. So yeah, that fight is gonna go down. Teofimo Lopez and George Campos is supposed to go down on Triller still. I think that Bob Arum and Teofimo Lopez made it very, very difficult for Triller to, get this fight done. We already know that they refusing to go over to Australia. But the funny thing is that they were refusing to go to Australia. But the first excuse that Teofimo Lopez made, right, when Bob Arum and everybody around him tried to get him to fight Devin Haney, right? The excuse was that, oh, well, I'm going to make a lot more money if I get to go over Australia, if I get to go to Australia to fight George Campos. Knockout said that they having a fight on a Tuesday, the week of Wilder Fury, for $20 in a 5,000 seat arena. They don't believe it will sell, so why should we? Exactly. That shit is not going to sell. You hear what Knockout just told y'all? They having the fight on a Tuesday, the same week of Wilder versus Fury. That's crazy. A 5,000 seat arena. So you mean to tell me Teofimo Lopez, my son is a star, Poppy? I mean, we definitely gonna do over 2 million pay-per-view buys, Poppy. You mean Poppy? So Poppy, you went from 5,000 seats, Poppy, to $20 pay-per-view and to $20 5,000. You went from 2.1 million pay-per-view buys or 2 million pay-per-view buys at least to being in a 5,000 seat arena in $20 pay-per-view. Poppy, I mean, come on, Poppy. I thought your son was a star, Poppy. What happened? And I like Teofimo Lopez, but when you come doing all of that damn talking, right? When you come doing all of that crazy talking, you got to at least back it up a little bit. So you mean to tell me this man, the pay-per-view is going to be $20 for Teofimo Lopez and Campos, and you're going to be in a 5,000 seat arena? Well, no, that's not. They're going to be at Madison Square Garden, I think, right? Let me see. I thought it was at, hold on. No, they're going to have it at Madison Square Garden, Knockout. So Madison Square Garden holds a lot more than 5,000. But I want to know what happened to that. The pay-per-view going to do at least 2 million pay-per-view buys, Poppy. Smooth Groove Boxing, what's happening with it? Well, let me see. Hold on real quick. Now, so the cost for fans to watch Teofimo Lopez versus George Campos is $19.99. So it's going to be at MSG in the Hulu Arena. That's what my man is saying, right? So he was right about the $20. So he got to be right about the Hulu Arena, right? Okay, yeah, a small room. So they're going to be at the Madison Square Garden. See, on this article, they try to make it like that they was going to be at MSG, right? But this is going to be in the Hulu Arena at Madison Square Garden. And we all know that the Hulu Arena is kind of like a small ballroom arena. Like my man said, it only holds 5,000. Shady Girl 85, what's happening with it? Salute. Mr. Finesse, what's happening with it? Sheena, the Queen Sheena in the building, salute. Cape Man 785, what's happening with it? So you went from all of that 2 million pay-per-view buys, Poppy, at least, to fighting in a 5,000 seat arena and basically giving away pay-per-view tickets, $20. I mean, for $20, I'll watch the shit, you know, for $20. But what happened? Now, the thing is remember, Teofimo Lopez was supposed to be making almost $4 million for this fight, right? And George Campos, whatever he was making, I don't really know what he was making. But with that being said, how are they going to pay, right, with $20 pay-per-views and you sitting in a 5,000 seat arena? I mean, y'all got to make this add up. How are they going to pay Teofimo Lopez almost $4 million? I mean, with those prices, it don't even look like that fight gonna generate $4 million. How they gonna pay him $4 million, right? Or whatever it was close to $4 million. And then George Kambosos was supposed to make, I think, over $1 million. I mean, so add that up. Let me know, sitting in a 5,000 seat arena with $20 pay-per-view tickets, how are they gonna make that happen? I want to know how they're going to make that happen. That's exactly why when Bob Arum said he wasn't going to pay for this George Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez fight, that's why I agree with him on that. I mean, we don't want the fight. I'm not paying. Nobody's going to pay. No. I mean, I bid it on the fight, but I mean, I'm not going to overbid on the fight. Nobody's going to pay to watch the fight. And Bob Arum told you, Devin Haney is a much better fight. We tried to get Teofimo Lopez to fight Devin Haney, but he just insisted on the George Kambosos. And then, remember, lying-ass Teofimo Lopez, the excuse that he made was, oh, well, it's because I want to, it's because if we had a fight in Australia, you know, it's huge, that's huge. Well, you found out way before that the fight wasn't going to be able to be in Australia, right? But now, fast forward. Now, recently, they were trying to get the fight back over there. And all of a sudden, you didn't want the fight over there. You didn't want it unless it was in America. So, man, you it's crazy. Like, you all over the place. And then you haven't, by the time Teofimo Lopez get in the ring, he ain't going to be fought in over a year. Probably like a year. You know what I'm saying? And so what is he? Do y'all think he gonna have any rust? Even if he does have rust, to tell you the truth, I don't think that George Kambosos is the fighter that can beat Teofimo Lopez. But we need to see Teofimo versus Devin Haney. Coming up in 2022, we need to see either if Teofimo not moving up to 140, we need to see him in the ring with Devin Haney or Tank Davis. Maybe even a Ryan Garcia, but I don't think he's going to get in the ring with none of them. But, you know, and shit, the rematch with Vasyl Lomachenko, that's a good ass fight. You know, I might even favor him in a rematch with Vasyl Lomachenko. I might favor Teofimo Lopez, but we need to see these fights take place. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says they got to sell 350,000 pay-per-view buys at $20 to make $7 million. They paid in the purse bid. Yeah, they paid $7 million in the purse bid. Why would you pay $7 million in the purse bid for a Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos, right? Neither fighter has been on pay-per-view before. Neither fighter is a household name. And then George Kambosos was an unknown name. Nobody knew who the hell George Kambosos was in the U.S. So why would you pay to stage a U.S. fight, right, and pay that much? It's like Triller was just like, shit, fuck it, we gonna bid on it. We know we ain't gonna pay him anyway. Hey, because, I mean, shit, from the last time I heard, they still ain't paid Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. So Triller was like, yeah, we gonna bid, we'll bid $7 million. Shit, we know we ain't gonna pay it anyway. But yeah, as y'all come in the building, y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. So moving along, we got Anthony Joshua and Usyk coming up. We got Anthony Joshua and Usyk coming up, and I asked myself, where's all the Anthony Joshua fans? Because I haven't heard nobody really talking about Anthony Joshua. What happened to all of the Anthony Joshua diehard fans? It seems like all of the Anthony Joshua fans jumped off the Anthony Joshua bandwagon and jumped on the Tyson Fury bandwagon, right? Y'all listen to me. Listen to this shit. It seems because look around the boxing community. What happened to all of the diehard Anthony Joshua fans? What happened to them? I don't understand. And Omega Red, I don't think they flipped on them because of the Ruiz. I'm going to tell y'all what happened to them. But before I tell y'all my opinion of what happened to all the diehard, supposed to be diehard Anthony Joshua fans, right? Were they actually his fans in the first place? Because now it seems like all of the diehard Anthony Joshua fans, all of a sudden now they're diehard Tyson Fury fans, right? So check this out, right? Check this out. One thing that Anthony Joshua, right? When Anthony Joshua had the biggest fan base, right? And I'm talking about here in the US also. When Anthony Joshua at one point in time had the biggest fan base, he had it's one thing in common with him and Tyson Fury right now. Both of them, right? Both of them piggybacked off of Deontay Wilder, right? Both of them names piggybacked off of Deontay Wilder, because when Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua's name was really out there, all of a sudden everybody loved Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua do this to Wilder. Wilder's running from Joshua. Joshua this, and Joshua that, and Joshua this, right? Now, when it's not Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder's name linked together, nobody's talking about Anthony Joshua no more. All of his fans are all of a sudden Tyson Fury fans. One thing in common between both of them is Wilder. So I'm here to ask y'all, were y'all actually real diehard Anthony Joshua fans, or were y'all just haters of Deontay Wilder? You just hated Deontay Wilder so much that you was going to jump on any bandwagon, right? Any fighter that was going against Wilder. Because now the same fans that was huge Anthony Joshua fans, right? And they hated Tyson Fury before, those same fans are all of a sudden in love with Tyson Fury, and they don't even speak about Wilder. Y'all ain't noticed? Y'all haven't noticed? So I'm here to tell y'all, when Wilder beats the shit out of Tyson Fury and puts him in the dirt, Tyson Fury ain't gonna have no fans no more. Because y'all forgetting, when Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, he ain't had no fans after that. When Tyson Fury announced that he was coming back to boxing, didn't nobody want to see Tyson Fury. The same people, they wasn't Tyson Fury fans. They were saying that he was boring. Remember? Tyson Fury's boring. We don't want to see him. They was all Anthony Joshua fans. All of those Tyson Fury fans, they didn't want to see Tyson Fury. They remember, oh, we don't want to see Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Nobody cares about that fight. Nobody cares about that fight. Remember? Everybody was on the Anthony Joshua bandwagon. All of a sudden, nobody talk about Anthony Joshua. Shit, the same diehard fans that were supposed to be Anthony Joshua fans, they talking about Usyk beating Anthony Joshua. A lot of them same fans want to see Usyk beat Anthony Joshua. What's all that about? I don't understand. Y'all let me know. What is all of that about? Sound crazy to me. seems like that the fans are not really diehard fans of Anthony Joshua, right? Or Tyson Fury, because I mean, it looks like they just hate Wilder. So they're gonna jump on any bandwagon. So when Wilder, right, puts Fury in the dirt, if Fury steps in that ring, right? If Fury steps in the ring come October 9th, when Wilder put him in the dirt, all of them fans gonna scatter from Fury, and they gonna move to the next fighter that Wilder's gonna fight. They gonna move to whoever else. And where the fuck is Dillian White, big slewfoot ass? Where's Dillian White? Is he even relevant? Because Dillian White, the only way he makes himself relevant is by talking about Deontay Wilder. All of these dudes got one thing in common. They ain't shit without Deontay Wilder's name in their mouth. What's going on? Right, Omega Red, right. You noticed that, Omega? What's going on with it, though? And y'all hit the like button. World Combat Sports, what's happening with it? Salute, World Combat. Make sure that you y'all go sub to my man World Combat Sports out there in the field, you know, really putting in that work. What's happening with it, Coach? Coach in the building. What's good with it? So you said GGWBA says Wilder is overrated. Okay, well, I just want you, if Tyson Fury get his ass, if Wilder was so overrated, right? Why did Tyson Fury pull every string he could not to get in the ring with Wilder? Y'all got to make it make sense to me. Even after, right? And y'all can't make an excuse saying it was because of Anthony Joshua, because even after he knew that Anthony Joshua was already tied up and tied to Usyk, he still faked COVID. He still faked COVID so he wouldn't have to get in the ring with Wilder at that time. So if Wilder is so overrated and he ain't shit, why does the man that y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all licking his ass and shit, kneeling to his feet, think he everything in the world? Why does this man, Tyson Fury, so afraid to get in the ring with Wilder if Wilder ain't shit? Why is Big John Fury, another man, you know what I'm saying, that y'all pray to and shit, why is Big John Fury, why is he talking about how dangerous Deontay Wilder is if Wilder is so overrated? I want to know. Right? So, and why did Tyson Fury, to you guys, why did he become so great, right, that he was great enough to be on the pound for pound list only after he defeated Deontay Wilder, if Wilder is overrated? So if Wilder ain't shit, well, why are y'all giving so much credit to Tyson Fury then? I want to know, if Wilder ain't shit, why are you giving so much credit to Tyson Fury if Wilder ain't shit? Why they put Tyson Fury on the pound for pound list if Wilder ain't shit? If he be the ain't shit overrated fighter? Y'all got to make it make sense to me. I don't know. Tyson Fury, he making the UK look bad. And I like Anthony Joshua, but he making the UK look bad too. We got one man that's making it look like the UK way is cheating. That the UK can't achieve no greatness unless they cheat to do it. Then you got Anthony Joshua, right? That's making the UK heavyweights look like once they get tapped on that chin, they finna go to sleep. Or you got my man Daniel Dubois, they gonna go to sleep or quit. Y'all got to do better. And I love the UK fans, but y'all got to do a lot better because, hey, these fighters y'all got representing y'all, it ain't looking so good. And what's going to happen? What is going to happen? What are y'all going to do? Right? What are y'all going to do when Deontay Wilder puts Tyson Fury in the fucking dirt? Y'all done went out and made statues and shit. What y'all going to do? When Wilder put him in the dirt, what are y'all going to do? Just imagine that next Sunday and then that following Monday. It's going to be real quiet with UK fans, coons, buck dancers. I can't wait. What are y'all going to do when Wilder put this man in the dirt? See, it's a smile on my face. I'm getting excited thinking about it, but then I don't want to get too excited because, you know, Fury always got some shit up his sleeve. Fury always got some shit up his sleeve, and you can't put nothing past Fury. Until they in that ring, standing face to face, this fight is set in stone. Leon Robinson says they never know when they'll get another champ, so when they have one, they hold on strong. They hold on tight. Yeah, but man, it's like why they jump off the Anthony Joshua bandwagon? He got the majority of the belts. He has the majority of the belts, right? He about to fight Usyk. Ain't nobody talking about Anthony Joshua, right? But everybody's talking about Fury. The only reason everybody talking about Fury is obvious. It's because his name is connected to Deontay Wilder. If Fury was fighting somebody else that didn't have a name of Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua, nobody would give a fuck about what Fury was doing. Because you see how they treat Anthony Joshua. They ain't talking about him. They not promoting his fight with Usyk. You don't see nothing about Anthony Joshua on in the boxing community. Why not? His fight is coming up sooner than Fury's fight. Anthony Joshua is fighting in less than a month. But you don't hear nothing about Anthony Joshua. So y'all just jumped off the Anthony Joshua train just like that, right? Y'all got to make this make sense to me. And y'all make sure that y'all hit my like button. Make sure that y'all smash on the like button. Mr. Finesse says AJ said Black Lives Matter, and they was like, oh, fuck AJ, he a fraud. Yeah, and that's a part of it too. That's a big part of it because you seen how fast they turned on AJ, right? When AJ said Black Lives Matter. But you know what I'm saying? We want to be quiet about that. Right? We don't want to talk about that. But that's a fact. That's a fact. So I want to know, what is the UK fan base? What are they going to do once Fury is laid out in that ring when he's knocked out cold? Right? What are they going to do? Y'all have to really think about that. The so-called diehard Tyson Fury fan base, right? That wasn't his fans a couple years ago. They wasn't his fans. They didn't even talk about Tyson Fury. Even when he came back, they didn't even want to see him come back. It was all about Anthony Joshua, right? So I want to know, what are they going to do once Tyson Fury is in that dirt, getting counted out, right? When Tyson Fury gets beat, what's going to happen? What y'all going to do? Andrew 100 says Josh Taylor is the last UK hope, point blank, period. I like Josh Taylor. Now, Josh Taylor's solid. And I'm not saying none of these guys they're not good fighters. Tyson Fury, a good fighter, even though he fucking cheat. That's his way of life, is cheating, right? Anthony Joshua is a good ass fighter. But what are y'all gonna do when there's no more Tyson Fury, right? When now it's no more Tyson Fury fights with Deontay Wilder. He can't link his name to Wilder. And he got his ass whooped, so he can't link his name to Anthony Joshua no more, right? What are y'all going to do? DP Rocket said he wanted to beat. Oh, he going to take some punishment before he hit that canvas. Knockout Boxing said Josh Warrington is a warrior too. The fact that he is getting back in with Mauricio Lara shows he a dog. Yeah, Warrington always been a dog though, man. Warrington can fight his ass off. Josh Warrington is one of the fighters I like to watch in the UK. You know, one of my favorite fighters to watch in the UK. Warrington could go. Let's talk about before I really get into this main topic I want to get on, I want to touch on Zorro Ramirez. You know, Zorro Ramirez, he out here talking, you know what I'm saying? He talking big. He talking big. He's saying that Demetrius Bivol won't even say his name. And coach, I hope you're still in the building because I want to know what you got to say about this because I know you a big fan of Demetrius Bivol, coach. And Zorro Ramirez, he talking that shit. He says that Demetrius Bivol is so scared of him, he won't even mention his name. What you got to say about that, coach? Oh, and he talked about Joshua Botsy, or however you say his name, from the UK. He said he'll destroy him. He said he don't even have no chance in the ring with him. So Zorro Ramirez talking a lot of shit. Let me see if I can find the article. Here it is right here. He said Bivol is staying quiet when his name come up. And he says, I'll absolutely destroy Joshua Botsy. He said he'll absolutely destroy Joshua Botsy from the UK. And you know what I'm saying? Gilberto Zorro Ramirez, he's a problem. He's a problem at light heavyweight. And you haven't heard none of these guys like Bivol or Bitterbeef say Zorro's name. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? Zorro Ramirez is a beast. He a beast. And he showed it his last fight, the way he ran through Sullivan Barrera like he wasn't shit. Why ain't none of these guys at 175 pounds at light heavyweight calling out Zorro Ramirez? And one thing, right? You've never heard Canelo Alvarez mention Zorro Ramirez. Even when Zorro Ramirez was talking about that him and Canelo would be a big, huge mega fight, you never heard Canelo Alvarez talk about Zorro Ramirez. When they start linking, and this is some shit. And I like Canelo, but this is the truth right here. When they start linking Zorro Ramirez and Canelo Alvarez's name together, right? See, a lot of y'all got it twisted. A lot of y'all think it was because of David Benavidez, right? That's the narrative that was going around. But if you go back and you do your research, you'll see once they started linking Zorro Ramirez's name with Canelo Alvarez, because remember, Canelo Alvarez, this at the time, he had fought the Rocky Fielding and everybody was like, okay, he's moving to 168. And then they started linking Zorro Ramirez with Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo, right after that, he came and said that he'll never fight another Mexican ever. He said he'll never fight another Mexican after they start linking him and Zorro Ramirez, trying to make that fight a huge, mega fight for Mexico. And he said, I'm never going to fight another Mexican again. So it didn't have nothing to do with David Benavidez. It was Zorro Ramirez. So quiet as kept, Zorro Ramirez been a boogeyman in whatever division he been in for a long time. 168 to 175. There was Zorro Ramirez that had Canelo Alvarez saying, I'll never fight another Mexican again. Y'all forget about that? It wasn't David Benavidez. This is true. I'm telling y'all. Go do your research. So Zora Ramirez is once again, he coming out and he on everybody helmet. He said Bivol keep his mouth shut when he come around. He don't never mention him. And I never heard Bivol or Bivol's team mention Zordo Ramirez, right? And then Joshua Botsy. He says he'll destroy Joshua Botsy. So Zordo Ramirez he talking that good shit. And ain't nobody been able to shut him up yet. What is he? What's his record? I know he's undefeated. Let's pull up Zordo Ramirez's record. I know he got a hell of a record. 42-0 he's 42-0, 28 KOs. Zordo Ramirez, so 42-0 with 28 KOs. Now, why isn't nobody talking about an all-Mexican fight between Zordo Ramirez and Canelo Alvarez? Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says Ramirez work rate, power, and chin got these boys shook. He says Benavidez with less hand speed, better feet, and better timing. He said he's a Benavidez with less hand speed, but better better feet and better timing. That's a fact. And he got better defense. That boy's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He's dangerous. 42-0, 28 KOs, no draws. Why ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Why don't none of these fighters talk about Zordo Ramirez? I've never heard no fighter call out Zordo Ramirez. The only fighter I ever heard call out Zordo Ramirez was Jesse Hart. And we seen what happened to Jesse Hart on 2 occasions. I actually saw the first fight between Jesse Hart and Zordo Ramirez. I saw that live. I was actually ringside for that fight. Harry Jones, salute. What about David Benavidez? You know, we know that David Benavidez can fight at 175. I think that David Benavidez and Zordo Ramirez is going to be, that shit is going to be probably, they're going to fight. They're going to lock up. I see Zordo Ramirez and David Benavidez eventually fighting each other. They got to. They have to. And if, when they fight, I guarantee you that fight will go down in history of one of the greatest fights ever to happen. That fight right there. See, people ain't really been talking about Zordo Ramirez. You know, I know he had some issues because he was with Top Rank, and he had some contract issues with Top Rank. He sat on the shelf for a long time, and then he was finally able to, you know, get loose from Top Rank, and then he went with, I think he went Golden Boy. But I don't understand why you would go from Top Rank to Golden Boy. You know, he need to get his business right. Coach says that's the best fight at light heavyweight. Zordo and Bivol is a 50-50 fight. You thinking that's a 50-50? You riding with Bivol, ain't you, Coach? I think Zordo Ramirez will beat the shit out of Bivol. Bivol ain't, he cool, but he like I said, Bivol, he good, but he ain't that good to me. He's good, but you know what I'm saying? He ain't nothing special about him to me. Usain 007, he says David Benavidez spars with okay, he says David spars with Zordo Ramirez and said he'll fight him if the money is right. I don't know, man. They spar together. I didn't even know they sparred each other. I didn't even know they sparred each other. But a lot of these dudes, they don't want to fight. They don't want to fight my man Zordo Ramirez. Knockout. Knockout said the same shit I just said. He said, sorry, coach. I think, right. He said, I got to disagree with coach. He said, he think that Zordo beat the dog shit out of Bivol. I think the same thing, bro. I think the same thing. Bivol can't fuck with Zordo Ramirez. He too big for him. Just all around. He just all around better than him. Knockout says the fact that David said if the money is right should tell y'all all you need to know. And that's a great point that you brought up, Knockout, because check this out. We know that David Benavidez's motto is that I'm not caring about the money. I just want to show everybody that I'm the best fighter and the money will come, right? He don't even talk about money when it comes to Charlo. He don't talk about money when it comes to Canelo. You've never heard, and I love David Benavidez, but this is a great point that Knockout Boxing alluded to. You've never heard David Benavidez talk about money with no other fighter, ever. But with Zordo Ramirez, he says that he'll fight Zordo if the money is right. But when it was everybody else, he never said nothing about money. So they let you know that nobody's talking about it, but Zordo Ramirez is a boogeyman. Zordo Ramirez is a boogeyman in the sport of boxing because you hear none of these names call out Zordo Ramirez. None of them. And Canelo Alvarez, once his name got linked to Zordo Ramirez and people was talking about how they would love to see that fight, Canelo immediately, right, came and said, you know what? I'm not fighting another Mexican. I'm not fighting another Mexican. Once Zordo Ramirez's name vanished away and nobody was talking about Zordo Ramirez no more, and it was David Benavidez, then Canelo came back after all that. Well, yeah, I'll fight a Mexican. Like, yeah, we can make that fight happen. We can make it happen. So, I don't know. It looked like a lot of these dudes is afraid to get in the ring with Zordo Ramirez, and they trying to wait for him to get old. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they trying to wait for my man to get old. So Zordo is a real killer, and we need to start giving him, you know what I'm saying? We need to start giving him his credit for being a real boogeyman in the sport of boxing because these dudes ain't mentioning his name. None of them. So, I mean, they try to act like he don't exist, but he out there, and he's starting to be vocal about how these dudes don't want no parts of it. So, yeah, you know, Zordo Ramirez, I want to see who he going to fight next. I think Marcus Brownie. Who is Marcus Brownie fighting next? Because I heard some news about Marcus Brownie. I know somebody in here know. I heard some news about Marcus Brownie, and he a hell of a fighter at 175, but he just, I don't know.
That's correct. We help every kind of business.
Hold on. He loses focus. Marcus Brownie, he loses focus, you know, and I don't know what's up with him. He got, I mean, he's very skillful, but he just lose focus. You don't know what Marcus Brownie you're going to get, and he's not active. So he better not get in there with Zordo Ramirez because he going to get his ass stopped. Knockout says they don't look the same with now with how they do when it's Zordo got some Spence vibes. Yep. They don't go after Zordo. They don't say his name. He says never stops punching, always in the right position, technically brings it to your front door. Yeah, right. Oh, J.A. Dixon says Marcus Brownie versus Beterbiev has been ordered. Now, that's a good fight, right? That is a very good fight. And that's a fight that could play out two ways. Either Marcus Brownie can box the shit out of Beterbiev, because we know Beterbiev is not the fastest, light heavyweight. He's pretty slow. He don't got the best feet, but he's very strong. He's relentless, and he gonna come to knock your ass out. So it can play two ways. Marcus Brownie can box his head off and make him look fucking amateurish, right? Or Beterbiev can cut off the ring on Marcus Brownie and just, beat him up until he knock him out. It's going to end in one or two ways. Either Marcus Brownie is going to box his head off, or Marcus Brownie is going to fucking lick that canvas and be put to sleep. One or two ways. So if that fight happened, that's a fight I would love to see. He said Bivol reminds him of a bigger Golovkin. I think Golovkin was better than Bivol, though. To me, Golovkin was better. Knockout Boxer said Brownie better be focused and on point for the beginning to the end. Yeah, he gets. I mean, if he not focused, if he lose an inch of focusness in that fight, he gonna get stopped. He definitely gonna get stopped. But let's go ahead and talk about my man Matthew Valentine in there in the super chat, showing love coming through. Salute to you. He says, man down, big fish, strap season. I got Porter, fam. Oh, they not fighting? Laugh out loud. Wow. Now, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Shawn Porter. Let's talk about Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford purse bid coming up next week. Now, my man Matthew Valentine, right? We got a little wager, and he's dead set on this fight is gonna happen. Now he thinks because they have a purse bid next week that the fight is already basically signed, sealed, and delivered. That the fight gotta happen. So he on here, he talking big shit because he thinks the fight is gonna happen. That it's basically said and done. It's all said and done because they got a purse bid coming on next week. Well, I'm here to tell you that don't mean shit. Now, it's crazy how all of a sudden, for the first time, because I've never seen this before, I've never heard of a purse bid being televised live streamed, right? I've never heard of a purse bid being live streamed. Never heard of it. So when I got to thinking, like, damn, that's crazy. Why would they live stream a purse bid so the fans can see it? This is, this is top secret shit that goes down behind closed doors that the fans only hear about. So why all of a sudden now are they live streaming a purse bid? And it makes you think, right? And I got to thinking, like, damn, why would they live stream a purse bid? And then just recently, like I told y'all earlier, Bob Arum did an interview and he talked about how PBC wasn't going to let Errol Spence fight Terence Crawford because they don't want to do any business with Bob Arum, right? And then you hear that the purse bid is being live streamed. And I start thinking, like, is this Bob Arum? Because we know that the WBO is basically the top ranked belt, right? We know that that Bob Arum has all of the pull in the world with the WBO, right? That's the top ranked belt. So I start thinking, like, did Bob Arum have the WBO, right? Order the WBO to live stream the purse bid to try to make PBC look bad, right? Because I'm standing on my square. I've been saying the whole time that this fight is not going to happen because PBC don't want this fight to go down because they know Terence Crawford is going to be a free agent. And that's a fight that they can have on the PBC platform, and they could make, 4 times the money that they're going to make if the fight goes to purse bid. And they have to have it, go through purse bid. So why not just wait a couple months see what Terence Crawford is going to do, and then put the fight on. So with Bob Arum knowing all of that, is Bob Arum trying to put Al Haymon and PBC on the hot seat? Okay, we're gonna live stream it to show everybody. We want to live stream it just in case you guys try to pull out of the purse bid, right? Well, we want to live stream it because I've never seen a purse bid get live streamed. Never seen it before. Why are they live streaming it? Why do they all of a sudden want the world to see this purse bid? Because we all know that they couldn't get an agreement done. That's why they go into purse bid. We don't even know if they even worked to get an agreement done, because we haven't heard Bob Arum talked about that they was working on the Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford fight. Not one time. Not one time did we hear him say that. When Terence Crawford was asked about the fight, right? He says, I don't have no idea what's going on with it. Shawn Porter, when he was spoke about the fight, he said he had no idea what was going on with it. So that lets me know they didn't even speak to each other on making the fight. Al Haymon and Bob Arum didn't even try to work on making this fight. They already was like, okay, well, shit, it's going to have to go to purse bid. And I was the first one that told y'all, right? Remember, I was the first one that came on here and told y'all when people were saying, oh, Shawn Porter and Kenny Porter, they pull some strings and make it go to purse bid. I said Shawn Porter and Kenny Porter didn't have nothing to do with this purse bid. And then you heard Shawn Porter come on his podcast and said, look, I was shocked. We were shocked. We didn't even see this coming. Bob Arum is the one that went to the WBO and said, you know what? Go ahead and mandate the fight. But why would he do that at the end? Right? Why would Bob Arum do that? Right? All of a sudden, after telling us that Terence Crawford was going to fight Jose Zepeda. Well, when he came out with that Terence Crawford and Jose Zepeda shit, if y'all notice all of the backlash that he got, you notice all of the backlash that Bob Arum and Top Rank got for saying that they was going to put Terence Crawford in the ring with Jose Zepeda. Shortly after that, all of a sudden, Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford is mandating. Y'all don't see this? Y'all don't see that Bob Arum is pulling strings? Bob Arum is doing all of this. And one, he's doing all of it is a last-ditch effort to keep Terence Crawford right under his wing where he wants him at, right? He wants to keep Terence Crawford right there because Bob Arum, at the end of the day, he knows that one of the only big, huge mega fights that he has left at Top Rank, I'm talking about big money, is Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And Bob Arum will fucking wither away and have a fucking nervous breakdown if he sees Errol Spence and Terence Crawford take place and he don't have no involvement in it. So when people say, oh, he wants Terence Crawford gone. Well, he might want Terence Crawford gone, but he don't want Terence Crawford gone until he gets that fight. Because he knows that fight is going to generate a whole lot of money in his pocket. And what are promoters about? Promoters are about making the most money they can at the end of the day. So, CB Sports TV, what's happening with it? What's good with it, CB? Off in the building. So, I mean, when you look at it, right? When you look at it, now all of a sudden, right, the purse bid is going on. They didn't even negotiate to try to make the fight. Go straight to purse bid, right? And now that the purse bid is going to happen next week, it's going to be live streamed. I've never heard of a purse bid. If somebody in here, if they've ever seen a purse bid being live streamed, let me know. Let me know. Las Vegas Leon, salute. Right? So my thoughts is because they're trying to make PBC look bad because they know what the business is. They know what's going on. Bob Arum is not an idiot, right? He knows exactly what's going on. He knows that, well, PBC don't want this fight they don't want this fight to go down because they know that Shawn Porter is about to be, not Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford is going to be a free agent, right? So he knows the model that Al Heyman have. Why give them guys over there Top Rank a free fight, right? Or split the bag with them when we could just wait a couple months? And if Terence Crawford decide that he don't want to do no business with us, well, oh well. He just shit out of luck. He gonna be left out of the circle. So I'm really, really, right? So everybody think that this fight, because it's gonna be live streamed. I still don't see this fight going down. Live stream or no live stream. They cannot make the PBC and Shawn Porter go through with the purse bid. Now, check this out. If Al Heyman, so say if Al Heyman doesn't win the purse bid, if Al Heyman don't even really bid on the purse bid like that, right? And say Top Rank or Triller or one of these other promotional companies wins the purse bid, check this out. One of these other promotional companies win the purse bid. Do y'all actually see Shawn Porter fighting on another platform? Y'all got to ask yourself this for everybody that really, really thinks this fight's finna go down. If Al Heyman don't bid on the fight or doesn't win the purse bid, can y'all actually see Shawn Porter fighting on another platform that is not a PBC platform? Also, can y'all see Terence Crawford fighting on a different platform than Top Rank if he's still under contract with Top Rank? So y'all got to make this shit make sense to me. Everybody that just think this fight is set in stone. Okay, well, where's the fight going to happen at? Where's the fight going? When have you ever seen a big name like Terence Crawford or Shawn Porter fight on the opposite platform from the platform that they do business with, that they're signed under? I want to know. Matthew Valentine, because you one of the ones that think this fight is going to happen. You came in here before I got the show started laughing. Oh, I thought you said the fight was going to happen. They live streaming it. Okay, well, I want to know your take on this, Matthew Valentine. Tell me when you've seen a fighter of Shawn Porter's caliber or Terence Crawford's caliber fight on a whole different platform. Let me know. Because, like I told y'all, this fight wasn't big enough for them to do a joint promotion like Wilder Fury. I want to know. You got to have some answers for me, Matthew Valentine. I want to get your answers. How is this fight going to take? I don't give a damn about no purse bid. That shit don't mean nothing. Purse bid or not, you cannot make, right? See, what you guys are forgetting. You're forgetting the large detail of everything that's going on, right? Y'all keep talking about purse bid. Well, you're forgetting who the champion is, right? The champion is Terence Crawford. You can't make PBC and Al Heyman fight Terence Crawford. Shawn Porter don't have no, PBC and Shawn Porter. You can't make Al Heyman and Shawn Porter, right, do a deal. Shawn Porter don't have no belt. So Shawn Porter loses nothing if they step away from the table. So it don't have nothing to do with Terence Crawford, because see, a lot of y'all thinking like, oh, if the fight don't go down, Crawford, he gets stripped. No, he still keeps his belt. Y'all got to understand the business. So understanding the business, I want somebody to let me know, because people saying Triller, people saying Golden Boy, people saying DAZN, people saying PBC. So did you actually see Terence Crawford, right? Let's say that Al Haymon do bid on it. Let's say Al Haymon put the highest bid on it, which is not going to happen. We just going to talk about make-believe shit that ain't going to happen. Let's say that Al Haymon wins the purse bid. Do you actually see Terence Crawford going over to PBC and fighting on the PBC pay-per-view platform when he's still under contract with Top Rank? Or do you see Shawn Porter going over to Top Rank or DAZN or fucking Triller and fighting on one of those platforms when he's still one of the biggest names on the PBC platform? Let me know how this gonna happen. Since everybody think the fight is gonna happen, how's it gonna happen? So Matthew Valentine says ESPN and Top Rank have the final bid. It will take place for whatever ESPN Top Rank offers. It's about the belts, not the platform. So you mean to tell me, Matthew Valentine, you mean to tell me all of the boxing that you watch and follow, you think that Shawn Porter, so you mean to tell me, right, you think that Shawn Porter, you're going to see Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford on ESPN fighting? You got to make this shit make sense to me. Because if this shit made sense, you would have already seen a big name fighter cross platforms. We're not talking about no split promotion like Wilder Fury. We're talking about a main fighter going over to a whole different platform while you still under contract with the other platform that don't even do business with each other. I'm telling you, Bob Arum set all of this shit up. We ain't never heard of no fucking live stream, right? We've never heard of no live stream in a purse bid. This is inside shit boxing business. They don't do inside boxing business on a live stream. Bob Arum set this up. So when I'm going to tell you why he set it up. Bob Arum is smart. He set this shit up because when we see that PBC and Shawn Porter are not bidding on the fight and they kind of, right? Because even though another fighter, another platform, like say Triller or say Triller, DAZN, Top Rank, right? Say another platform bids on the fight, right? And they win the bid. I'm letting y'all know all Al Haymon and Shawn Porter have to do is step away from it. So it doesn't matter that somebody wins the bid if Shawn Porter, right, steps away from the fight, because you can't make him fight because he's not the champion. Now, if Shawn Porter was the champion and then he were to step away, now it would get kind of ugly, because then they would have to strip Shawn Porter. But Shawn Porter is the fighter that's getting an opportunity, right? He's getting an opportunity to fight for the title. But let me explain to y'all. But Shawn Porter and Al Haymon, right? Al Haymon has let Shawn Porter know, look, don't worry about it. We don't need to fight him in a purse bid. We can fight him down the line in 2022. We can fight him later on next year that's coming up. And we're going to get a lot more money because we can make it pay-per-view on our platform and we don't have to split the bag with nobody. That's if Terence Crawford leaves Top Rank. But if he don't leave Top Rank or he don't want to do business with us, that's fine. We ain't worried about him. That's his problem, because now he going to be, you know what I'm saying? He going to be on the outside looking in. He ain't going to be able to get no big fights. We got everything right over here. So Shawn Porter and Al Haymon, PBC, walking away from whoever wins that purse bid. They walk away from the purse bid. That's a smart business move. Y'all will call it a duck, but it's a smart business move. Now, the ball, right? Now all eyes is on Terence Crawford. Are you leaving Top Rank? When you leave Top Rank, what's popping? Where you going? You didn't get the Shawn Porter fight. You know why you didn't get the Shawn Porter fight. You know why we pulled out of the purse bid. You know why we stepped away from the fight. And see, Bob Arum is live streaming it because he wants everybody to see that, right? So what Bob Arum is going to do, this is what Bob Arum is going to do, right? And hit the like button. Y'all hit my like button. Smash on my like button, right? I'm going to tell y'all what Bob Arum is going to do. This is why he wanted to live stream it. He's going to show everybody. See, they didn't even, they stepped away from the fight. You guys saw it. We live streamed the purse bid. You saw everything, right? He's going to say, they're afraid of Terence Crawford. It wasn't for me. It wasn't me. They was afraid of Terence Crawford. You see Terence Crawford, I showed y'all. It's not me. I'm good. I've always done good business with you. It ain't me. Now you see. And then you're going to try to negotiate with Terence Crawford, get in Terence Crawford's head to keep him over there. But see, he's doing that shit to try to show and then flip the narrative like, oh, it ain't us. We trying to make these fights, but PBC don't want to make these fights. But not knowing that if they have to see what people need to realize that if when Top Rank has all the fighters in on their side, they do the same business, right? They do the same business. They make it so it ain't gonna be no fight unless y'all willing to cross platforms, come over here and fight for us. They do the same fucking business. So he's trying to flip the narrative by putting this shit live stream. I'm telling y'all, if y'all think this shit is gonna happen, I'm telling y'all, this fight ain't gonna happen. And you hit the nail right on the head, J.A. Dixon. J.A. Dixon says it might be a good business move on the part of Al, but it's going to make them look bad it's going to make them look bad publicly. Right. That's why I'm saying I think that Bob Arum is behind having this purse bid live stream, right? So he can flip the narrative, put it on PBC, and make PBC look bad in front of the public. But at the end of the day, check this out. Everybody has ran Al Haymon's name through the mud. You've never heard Al Haymon speak. You ain't never heard him. You've never seen Al Haymon, right? You've seen him like pictures of him at fights and shit. But we've never heard Al Haymon speak or do not one interview ever. So do you think that Al Haymon really cares about how the PBC looks in the public's eye? Al Haymon is about fucking playing chess, not checkers. Right? Chief Red 4. I just explained the whole thing to you. Now you coming in here talking about Porter ducking. Can you not comprehend what I just explained? See, some people are going to think that even when they hear me breaking it down, right, because they can't comprehend it. But do y'all really think that Al Haymon, because Al Haymon ain't in the public eye. Al Haymon, his move is to make chess moves, not checker moves. So it makes a lot better sense to wait it out a couple more months, not even a couple more months, to wait it out, because October, they said in October that Terence Crawford's contract is up with Top Rank. We know one thing we do know is Terence Crawford only owes Top Rank one more fight. So if he only owed Top Rank one more fight, why would we go through this when we didn't have? You got to understand, Shawn Porter and PBC had nothing to do with mandating this fight. That was all Bob Arum pulling them strings backstage, right? Bob Arum mandated this fight, right? And we know Bob Arum is just trying to play. He playing games, because if he ever wanted this fight for Terence Crawford, he would have been made to fight, right? When Shawn Porter was calling out Terence Crawford and everybody was talking about the fight in the first place, he would have made the fight then. When Shawn Porter was named Terence Crawford's #1 contender to Terence Crawford's WBO belt, he would have made the fight then. You see what I'm saying? So y'all got to understand what's going on here. We're going to get to see real soon what happens. So I'm telling y'all, don't be surprised if whoever wins the purse bid, right, besides PBC, right, whoever wins the purse bid, besides, because I'm telling y'all, PBC not going to even win the purse bid because they don't want to win the purse bid. So whoever wins the purse bid, don't be surprised if y'all think the fight is going down and y'all gonna get excited. Oh, such and such gonna have the fight on whatever platform, right? And then all of a sudden, you don't hear nothing about the fight. And then all of a sudden, y'all hear that fight is not happening. I'm telling y'all. Because all it takes is for Shawn Porter and PBC to pull out. They can pull out, they got a million different ways they can pull out. And it all makes business sense. So Matthew Valentine says, do y'all think that Al will sacrifice Porter? I think Bob is trying to get Bud stripped. It's not about sacrificing Porter. It's about that Al Heyman is a business mind. All these fighters do business with Al Heyman, and they know the business. So when Al Heyman talks to Shawn Porter and sits down and explains to Shawn Porter the game plan, Shawn Porter is going to understand that. Shawn Porter is not going to be pissed off because Shawn Porter knows that, well, at the end of the day, he's going to have to come see me anyway. Because Al Heyman is promising me a title shot, and we're just going to wait on Terence Crawford. I could get another fight in between. We could have a mega fight on pay-per-view on the PBC platform. Al Heyman is promising me that I'm going to make a lot more money, which I will. And I'm going to be happy. Shit, I waited this long for a Terence Crawford fight. I'm good. You got to understand that when this came about, Shawn Porter didn't even have Terence Crawford's name in his mouth no more. Shawn Porter was shocked when he heard this news. So it ain't like that he's fucking gonna be losing nothing. The fight will happen. I'm telling y'all, if Terence Crawford really wants the fight to happen, if he really want to fight the best, this fight will happen. It just won't happen when y'all think it's gonna happen. Exactly. If Shawn Porter and PBC turn it down, if they back out, however you want to call it, Bud is not obligated to fight him anymore. Bud can move on and defend his title against whoever Bob put in the ring with him. That's what y'all not understanding. This doesn't affect Bud Crawford in no way. This fight not going down, it doesn't affect Bud Crawford. And y'all gonna think it affects Shawn Porter because he just lost his chance at a title shot. But no, all roads lead to PBC. And if Terence Crawford stays at top rank, we're gonna know that he don't want to fight Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Ugas, none of those guys, because none of those fights are gonna happen if Bud Crawford decides not to do business with PBC. Because ultimately, if you stay with Top Rank, or if you sign with DAZN, if you sign with Triller or any other network, you just sealed your fate. You're deciding that you don't want to do no business with PBC. So Al Heyman, PBC know that. They know that. So they're not worried about what move Crawford makes next if it ain't involving them. They're not worried about that. I mean, we're gonna see soon. Like I said, next week is a purse bid. Um, Let me know when y'all heard. How often do y'all hear about when a fight gets mandated, right? And then you don't hear nothing about them even negotiating, right? Usually, when a fight gets mandated, you hear in the news that they're working on trying to get a fight done. They're in the negotiation room. You know, PBC, Top Rank. They working on trying to get the fight done. They negotiating back and forth. They trying to come to some type of agreement before the purse bid, right? And then if they don't come to some agreement, then you hear a purse bid. Well, this time you didn't hear none of that. You never heard that they was working on trying to get a fight done. You didn't hear nothing. All you heard was, we have no idea what's going on. Shawn Porter, we have no idea what's going on. Terence Crawford, we don't have no idea what's going on. Bob Arum, he went quiet. Now all of a sudden, it's a purse bid going on next week because they couldn't come to no agreement. They didn't try to come to no agreement. Why? You see what I'm saying? If this fight was actually going to take place, if PBC was like, yeah, Shawn Porter, we're going to let you go wherever and you know, we want this fight to take place. Don't y'all think that they would have tried to negotiate with Top Rank? Don't you think that Top Rank would have tried to negotiate with PBC? And you heard Bob Arum out of his own mouth says that he's not paying Shawn Porter no more than $1 million. So what changed? So what changed? I want to know that. Everybody that thinks the fight is just set in stone, is going to happen, I want to know, let me know what changed. Who you talking to, Crush the Legend? You said, are you talking to me? I'm talking like Shawn Porter is ducking Terence Crawford. I don't know. You gotta elaborate who you talking to, because if you talking to me, obviously you either have to just come in here or you can't comprehend well. That's if you talking to me. So elaborate on who you talking to when you says that you talking like Shawn Porter is ducking Terence Crawford. Oh man, 50-0 TV. Yeah, man, that game gonna be hard, but they pushed it back. It ain't coming out. That new boxing game. Yeah. They pushed it back. They don't know when it's coming out. Oh, okay. Okay, Crush the Legend. Okay, I was about to say, man, I just broke the whole thing down. Shawn Porter's not ducking nobody. Um, uh, Mr. Rouse, Shawn Porter is not ducking nobody. See, y'all gotta listen to when I explain what's going on. It's not about Shawn Porter ducking, right? That's just the fans. That's how they're gonna take it. It's business. Shawn Porter, he's going to go by what Al Heyman tells him. A lot of these guys know that they wouldn't be multi-millionaires if they didn't have Al Heyman on their side. A lot of these guys realize that. So they're not going to go against what Al Heyman is telling them. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you, Crush the Legend. Yeah. Well, we know how fans are going to react. They don't understand the business and politics and how it works. But it's actually a very smart move if you Al Heyman. Have your fighter pull out of the fucking fight, right? For whatever reason. Who cares? Whatever reason. And you send a message to Terence Crawford. You're not fighting none of my guys unless you come and do business with us. So you can stay on some punk shit and stay over there and keep doing business with them other dudes. That's fine. You'll never have your legacy ain't gonna be shit. That's how we do it. You either with us or you against us. So what is it going to be? And that's how we planned it. Because you know why we playing the game raw like that? Because all these other promoters, they're playing the game raw like that. All these other promoters, when they have all of the cards stacked in their favor, they do the same thing. So we're not going to fucking give them we're not going to give them nothing. They got to come over here and get this work. They got to do business with us. They got to cut a check with us. That's what y'all not understanding. Golden Boy did it. The Zone, they do it. Bob Arum and Top Rank, they do it. All of them play the game raw like that now. That's why we don't see the best fight the best. So we're not going to change our model. Y'all ain't changing. We're not going to change. Because we know if you had Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, your Danis Ugas, Manny Pacquiao, fucking Jamal James, and all of the welterweights, right? We know if Top Rank had all of the welterweights on their side, they would do PBC the same way. The same way. We see it with Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez and Tank Davis. Well, if they want to fight Teofimo, they got to come over here. If they want to fight Vasyl Lomachenko, we running this shit. They got to come over here. We're not doing a split promotion. They have to come over to this platform and do it. Why you think that Devin Haney became a free agent? Devin Haney became a full free agent just so he could do business with Top Rank and get that Teofimo Lopez fight. But they can't make Teofimo Lopez get in the ring with Devin Haney. And Bob Arum made it very clear to Devin Haney and Bill Haney, well, that's good that you became a free agent, but you ain't gonna come over here and snatch this belt and leave up out of here, right? For one fight. You want to do business with us, you got to sign a multi-fight deal. That shit sound familiar? Because we acting like PBC is the only one that does business like that. Well, Devin Haney became a free agent just so he could get the fight with Teofimo Lopez in big fights. Well, you know what they told Bill Haney and them? Yeah, we would love to have y'all over here, but you ain't finna do no one fight and gone. So we're not about to put you in there and then you just do this one fight and you dip out. Nah, you got to sign a multi-fight deal. Or you're not going to be fighting none of these fighters over here on our stable. Whether it's Teofimo Lopez, whether it's Vasyl Lomachenko, or whoever it is. You ain't going to get none of this smoke over here unless you come over here, do business with us, and sign a multi-fight deal. So now, when you try to act like that, PBC and Shawn Porter are ducking if they pull out or they doing this and, you know, they're fucking up the sport. Well, it go the same for all of these promoters. These promoters ain't for the fighters. These promoters are for the bag at the end of the day. They for the bag. If these promoters was all about the fighters, right? Do you think that Floyd Mayweather would have said, "Oh, we're not fighting none of those guys over there. All the fights that we doing is in-house." Well, you don't think Tank Davis want to fight some of them other dudes that ain't in-house? Y'all make it make sense. And at the end of the day, I really want to see this fight between Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford. But I don't think it's going to happen next. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what y'all. Tory Robbie Sr. Man, it is. It's some fucked up shit. But they don't have nobody overseeing boxing. So these promoters and these sanctioning bodies, they can do whatever the fuck they want to. They can do whatever they want to. You know what I'm saying? These promoters and these sanctioning bodies, they can do whatever they want to. They don't have nobody looking over boxing. It's the dirtiest business. And I know the UFC fighters, they complain about not ever, you know what I'm saying? The UFC fighters, they complain about not getting the pay that the boxers do, right? They don't get paid near as much as the top fighters do in boxing, right? But the fans appreciate the UFC a lot more than boxing, and you can see by the money that the UFC generates. The fans, they, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the fans, they ran away from boxing and went to the UFC because, you know, one thing in the UFC is for the fans. They're going to put on the best fights for the fans. Dana White and them dudes that run the UFC, they don't give a damn about nothing else but putting on the best fights for the fans. Now, it is at the expense of the fighters because the fighters are getting fucked out of their money. So it's like in sports, it's, you know, with these contact sports, I mean, with these sports like UFC and boxing and, you know, with these combat sports, it's either one thing or another. It's one way or another. And it's hard. It's going to be hard to, you know, get the fights that we want. Like, imagine if boxing was ran like UFC. A lot of your favorite fighters wouldn't be shit. If boxing was ran like UFC, all of these belts, all of these fighters that's champions, probably 75% of these fighters wouldn't be champions. They would just be another fighter. Imagine if boxing was ran like the UFC. Would your favorite fighter still be your favorite fighter? J.A. Dixon said, we really would see if the UFC was different than from boxing if they made fights with other promotional companies. And so, we can't see that because, you know, that's right. That you made a good point, right? If they made fights with other promotional companies, but and I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because I'm gonna make my point, and I've never heard nobody say this, right? Now, the UFC's motto, right, is if you want the big fights, you have to come to the UFC. We've seen guys from Bellator, they went to the UFC because they knew that they wanted to be on the big stage. PFL, all the K1, right? All of the big names in those other promotional companies with, you know, with combat sports, they eventually went to UFC, right? They eventually went to UFC. All of those big names in MMA that was fighting for other promotional companies, they eventually went to UFC because they knew they couldn't fight a John Jones or George St. Pierre or whoever it was unless they went over to the UFC. Chris Cyborg, she was a big name in another MMA promotional company, but Chris Cyborg, right? She couldn't get a fight with the big names in the UFC. Chris Cyborg wanted a name she wanted to get in there with Ronda Rousey. She wanted to get in there with Amanda Nunes, right? But she realized that the UFC's motto was, we have everything right here in this bubble. Yeah, it's other MMA professionals, it's other MMA companies out there, but we're showing them that, okay, if you got big names in your company, well, we're not going to do business with y'all because you got to come over here if you want the big fights, if you want to be on the big stage. So You got it right there. MMA, UFC do the same type of business that Al Heyman is trying to conduct with the PBC. So Al Heyman is trying to let all of the other fighters know, like the Terence Crawfords, right? If you want to do big business, you got to come over here, especially at 147 pounds, because see, at 147, what y'all didn't understand, right? And I'm glad my man said that, right? At 147 pounds, what y'all didn't understand is that PBC is the UFC at 147. At the welterweight division, the PBC is the UFC, if y'all get what I'm saying. Now, PBC is not the UFC of boxing in every division, but when we talk about the welterweight division, one of the biggest divisions in all of boxing, well, the PBC is the UFC. That's what y'all didn't look. That's what y'all don't understand. So when Al Heyman, when I tell y'all that Al Heyman model is to let all of these other guys know, especially at 147 pounds, if you want big fights, if you want to do big business, well, you got to do business with us. Only with us. Or, I'm sorry for you, you can get the hell on. And you know who's up? Terence Crawford, you're up. You up the bat. What you going to do? So, when we talk about MMA and UFC and the model that they run the same model that the PBC is running over there when it comes to the welterweight division. The only thing is that MMA, the UFC is able to do it on a much bigger platform, because although PBC only has the welterweight division sold up, the UFC, they got the whole MMA sold up to where in every division you got the biggest names. Now, do you think that it's not fighters that's outside of the UFC that can go to the UFC right now and win a title in one of their divisions? Yeah, it is. But they got to be willing to go over there and do business with UFC. And a lot of times doing business with the UFC means that if you got to make a lot more money, I mean, you got to make less money off the, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning. When you make that transition, if you want to leave Bellator or the PFL or one of those, they might be paying you a whole lot of money because you're a big name over there. But UFC is like, look, we got the, you know what I'm saying, we got the big stage, we got the big platform, we got the big names in all the MMA. So you're gonna have to take a pay cut. So you can come over here, you're gonna have to come over here, do business with us. But you're gonna have to take a pay cut for a little bit, and that's how they do business. But Al Heyman is not doing business exactly like that, because Al Heyman is like, well, you got to come over here and do business with us, but we actually gonna pay you more than what they paying you. So y'all got to make it make sense. Al Heyman is running that same model, but he's not gonna cut your pay. He's gonna pay you more than what you was already getting paid. So why not come do business with us? So when we talk about MMA, when we talk about boxing, they essentially all do business the same type of way. It's a dirty game, right? We're just able to see the best fight the best in the UFC because the UFC basically did a takeover. You know what I'm saying? They did a takeover like the WWE did to WCW. They did a takeover. WCW got taken over by the WWE because WWE wanted to have all of the best fighters in their stable. So don't get mad at Al Heyman when you learn the PBC model. It's a fucking smart business model that all of the big promotional companies, that everybody either does or they trying to do. That's the goal. The goal is to get everybody or all of the best fighters on your stable so you don't got to split the bag with nobody. That is the goal. Once y'all understand that, then y'all will really understand boxing and why we don't see a lot of these fights. That's why boxing was once like the UFC, right? Where you only had really two promoters. You only had Don King and you had Bob Arum. They hated each other, but they did business because they knew without each other, they wasn't gonna make no money, right? So they did business, but the game changed when you start bringing in all these different belts, and you start bringing in all these different other promotional companies. That's when, and then they ostracized. Excuse me. They blackballed Don King out of the sport. Everybody talked shit about Don King, but the boxing was different. Boxing was different when Don King was in the game. And Don King, he was a cold piece. That's why you would see Don King, right? He would come to a ring, he'd be promoting the fighter, and then if that fighter lost, you'll see Don King on the other side promoting the other fighter, raising his hand, talking about some only in America. He the best fighter in the world, but you came to the ring with this other fighter. Don King was playing both sides, but we got to see the best fights back then. My man Batman, what's happening with it? Batman, salute. He says because the UFC lived behind their brand instead of a fighter. They do, that's true, but UFC, they build their brand from the ground up, right? You gotta understand, when the UFC came along, they didn't have nobody else to compete with. You see? They didn't have nobody else to compete with. So they was able to build the UFC from the ground up. They was able to build that name, get those endorsements, those TV rights, to where when other promotional companies start coming around, right? Bellator, PFL, K1, all of that other, whatever it is, when those other promotional companies start coming around, they couldn't compete with the UFC because the UFC had a fucking head start. They had a 10-year head start or more. More than that probably, right? So you can't compete with them. And that's what Al Heyman, when I tell you that Al Heyman and PBC, they play chess, not checkers. That's what they doing. And Terence Crawford, he get it. He know what it is. He could go on Twitter and all of that and act like people ducking him and pretend all he want to. But at the end of the day, you can pretend, you can fucking type on Twitter, your fucking fingers bleed. But it doesn't change the fact that you got to come over here and do business with us if you want to have a fucking resume and if you want to have a great legacy in boxing. Other than that, you keep doing what you're doing. But we treat our fighters over here very well, and our fighters are not leaving outside of this bubble for nobody. Especially at 147 if I ain't got to. For what? If I got everything right there, right? If I have everything, right? If I got a movie theater, right? Check this out. If I have why you think people build movie theaters in their house? If I got a movie theater in my house, a popcorn fucking stand, a concession stand, everything in my house, I got all of that. Big fucking movie theater, all of that. You think I'm leaving my house to go see a movie? Why? I got the popcorn, I got concession stand, I got all of that. Right here in my mansion. I don't have no mansion, but I'm just saying. Right here in my mansion, I got all of that. Why I build all of this and have all of this, why I'm paying these people to work this concession stand in my house to go leave and go to a movie theater. No, I did it because I have everything right here to make sure that I don't have to leave to go see a movie. So, I mean, at 147, why I got to leave out of this PBC circle if everything right here? If I know I don't have to leave out, they have to come over here eventually. Rerunning shit. They're not running nothing. That's why Terence Crawford, and he knows that. And this is no dig to Terence Crawford. I'm not shitting on him. He knows that. That's why Terence Crawford was so devastated when the situation with Manny Pacquiao didn't go through. But from what I hear is that everybody signed the contract but Terence Crawford. So it kind of confuses you. But that's why he was so mad and devastated, and he was hating on Errol Spence and doing all that hating and shit, biting his bottom lip until blood came out. He was mad at the situation when the Pacquiao fight didn't go through with him, because he knew that he lost his only opportunity for leverage. Because he was going to try to leverage that Manny Pacquiao, right, fight and use that to his advantage to, like, okay, well, I just beat Manny Pacquiao. Now I got a big ass name. Now y'all gotta come over here and see me. And he was hoping that Manny Pacquiao also got his WBA belt back, right? That they had, gave Manny Pacquiao his WBA belt back, because at that point in time, nobody knew if Manny Pacquiao was going to get his belt back. And a lot of people thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to get his belt back if he fought Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. But that's why he was so devastated, because he lost his only chance at leverage with any of the PBC fighters. Now he ain't got nothing. Nobody care about that WBO belt. That belt's not important. Oh man, I definitely ain't got no movie theater in my house. Not yet. But with all of this being said, right? I mean, I hope I am wrong. I hope that they do get the fight done, and this fight does actually take place in November. I hope I'm wrong. I want to see the fight. I'm a fan. But I'm not going to be no fool and just because they said it's mandated, and I'm not going to be no fool and run off and, oh yeah, it's going to happen. But I hope I am wrong. And I'll come on here if I am wrong, if that fight, if we get a date, right? We get a date, we get a venue, and we get promotion for the fight. That's when we know that the fight is really happening. Until then, don't talk to me about this fight is going to happen. I want it to happen. And I'll be the first one to come on here on live and with a smile on my face and say, you know what? I was wrong. Shit. You know what I'm saying? They fooled me. I was wrong. I'll be the first one to come on here and say that. But hold your breath. Don't hold your breath on that happening. But I hope that they, I hope it is so. But if this doesn't happen, you can, because check this out, right? Why isn't Jose Zepeda, why does he have an opponent, right? If Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford being mandated meant that the fight was going to happen, well, how come they haven't moved on with Jose Zepeda and gave him an opponent? Y'all got to make some of this shit make sense to me. Because Jose Zepeda is the one that was supposed to fight Terence Crawford before all of this news came about. Well, why doesn't he have an opponent right now? Wouldn't y'all think that if they really thought that this fight between Bud Crawford and Shawn Porter was going to happen, we would have heard something about Jose Zepeda by now, right? We would have heard that Jose Zepeda got an opponent. But see, they're holding on to Jose Zepeda. You ain't heard nothing about Jose Zepeda because they holding on to him because that's the fighter that you'll see Terence Crawford in the ring with next. That's probably going to be the fighter that you'll see Terence Crawford in the ring with next. And also, why is Bob Arum talking about Terence Crawford and Josh Taylor in 2022? Look, and I've been saying, I know you just came in the building right now, Drico Bay, right? I know you just came in the building right now, Drico Bay, but I've been telling them that the whole time. My man Drico Bay says Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter not going to happen because we know Al is using Shawn Porter as a pawn to occupy Terence Crawford so he can make Spence versus Ugas. Well, it ain't going to happen, but that's not the reason it's not going to happen, right? That ain't, see, my man Drico Bay, he actually very close to Terence Crawford. He's close to Terence Crawford and and the whole Crawford family, right? He's close to them. So he's close to them, and he's coming in telling y'all that this fight ain't gonna happen next. But when I tell a lot of y'all don't want to believe me. I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen. But my reason for it not happening is a different reason than Drico Bay, right? Than my man Drico. So I got a different reasoning. It's all a business move. His reasoning is a business move, but to me, it don't have nothing to do with Spence and Ugas. To me, it's more about showing Terence Crawford that, okay, you're not going to get no big fights unless you come over here. So you can definitely get this Shawn Porter fight, but you got to leave Top Rank and come over here because we know that you're about to be a free agent. Now, the business might be conducted a little bit different if Terence Crawford had years left on his contract. If he had some years left on his contract and he wasn't about to be a free agent, right? If he decides to be a free agent, because that's all up to him. But if he has some years left on his Top Rank contract, then I think that they would have to look at conducting the business a little bit different. They would have to look into actually going, and trying to win the purse bid, or going to have Shawn Porter try to go to Top Rank and take that belt from Shawn Porter if they believe in Shawn Porter and whatnot. But they don't have to conduct a business like that because he don't have long at all left on his contract. One fight and he should be done, and he done. J.A. Dixon says, what I think about Shakur versus Herring in Atlanta. Man, that's a hell of a fight. Yep. Drico Bay said, absolutely. Al Heyman is trying to strong arm TC to sign with PBC. I agree with you. Yeah, he said he agreed with me. I know what I'm talking about, man. And salute to my man Drico Bay. And y'all make sure that y'all go check out Drico Bay because I'm sure he's going to be talking about this whole situation too. Make sure that y'all go subscribe to Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk and go show some love to my man Kwame East and Drico. Make sure that y'all go show some love to Kwame East and Drico because they're going to be over there, probably chopping it up about this situation too. And like I said, he's close with Terence Crawford in the Crawford family. So, yeah, that's just what it is, It's a business move. And my man asked me about the Shakur and Herring fight, man. I think that's a real good fight. I see Shakur Stevenson going out there and making a statement. I see Shakur Stevenson making a statement. I see him beating Jamel Herring, and I see him beating Jamel Herring as easy as he wants to. But I see Shakur Stevenson engaging a lot more than what we saw him engage in the last fight because he admitted he didn't want to engage. He said he felt that last Jeremiah Nakatili or something like that, the dude that Shakur Stevenson fought last. He admitted. He said, I felt this power early. He said, I didn't really want to engage with him like that. I didn't want to get hit. So I think Shakur Stevenson, he got a lot of backlash from, that last fight that he had in those comments that he made. So he promised that his next fight that will be 10 times better than what he showed. Even though he didn't get touched and he won every single round. He pitched the shutout. You feel me? But I see him pitching the shutout against my man Herring, but I see him pitching a different type of shutout. I see him taking more chances and fighting in the pocket a lot more than Jamel Herring. I don't see Jamel Herring having nothing for Shakur Stevenson. Even though I like Jamel Herring and I respect Jamel Herring for making this, for going through with this fight, right? They ordered it, so he really ain't had no choice but to go through with it. But I respect him for going through with this fight. And I think that Shakur Stevenson is going to put on. I don't see Jamel Herring having nothing for Shakur Stevenson. I think that man is going to put on. And Shakur Stevenson is going to make it a much more exciting fight than he did his last fight. That's what I think about that fight. And I'm excited about that fight. And that's a fight that I might go to. I think I might go to that fight. If I can make it to that fight, I would love to make it to that fight in Atlanta. So yeah, I think Shakur Stevenson really gonna put on. This is his coming out party. This is a fighter that's known, that has a championship belt, and this is Shakur Stevenson's chance to show Bob Arum really that I can be exciting in the ring. Put me in the ring with Oscar Valdez. If Oscar Valdez still had that belt then, because Oscar Valdez, he got a tough ass fight coming up too. He got a tough ass fight coming up. Oscar Valdez got a tough fight coming up with Conceição. I think that's his. I can't really pronounce his name, but I don't see Oscar Valdez losing that fight because Oscar Valdez is fighting in the hometown, right? He's fighting in the hometown, and they're not going to let Oscar Valdez lose right there. I'm going to tell y'all, if Oscar Valdez lose, if they say them people going to tear that whole arena up if they don't get that fight to Oscar Valdez. So the only way that Conceição, I don't know how to say his name, but the only way dude can beat Oscar Valdez is by knockout. And I don't see him knocking out Oscar Valdez. He ain't gonna win that fight on no scorecard. So with that being said, with Shakur Stevenson and Jamel Herring, it's Shakur Stevenson's chance to make a statement to Bob Arum, to show Bob Arum I can be an exciting fighter. Put me in there with Oscar Valdez. Because right now, Bob Arum don't want to put Shakur Stevenson in there with Oscar Valdez because Bob Arum knows that Oscar Valdez will get his ass beat by Shakur Stevenson. He knows Shakur Stevenson can beat Oscar Valdez. But Oscar Valdez brings more money to the table, right? Because he got a Mexican fan base and he got a fan base that's going to support him and ride with him more. Oscar Valdez makes for a more exciting fighter. So Bob Arum is a businessman. That's why he tries to hold Shakur Stevenson down, and he don't give Shakur Stevenson these Oscar Valdez fights and these fights with goddamn the guy that the Mexican that Oscar Valdez just beat, my dude. I can't think of his name right now, but that's why Shakur Stevenson wasn't getting those big fights because he don't want Shakur Stevenson to beat Oscar Valdez, and he can't sell tickets or be an exciting fighter. He gonna push for Oscar Valdez because he know Oscar Valdez is gonna put more asses in seats. So he wants a fighter like Oscar Valdez to hold that championship belt for as long as he can. Miguel Berchelt. So it makes business sense, but it's fucked up for Shakur Stevenson. So now Shakur Stevenson is going to have to show that he can be exciting. He's going to have to show that to Bob Arum. Because if he don't, if Shakur Stevenson make this a boring fight and the crowd get the booing and shit, he could kiss that Oscar Valdez fight. He could kiss that shit goodbye. That shit ain't going to happen until, longer down the line. because Bob Arum is going to delay that fight from happening as long as he can. That's how these promotional companies work. Why would I want you to beat my other fighter that's bringing me a bag, a big bag, right? Why would I want you to beat him when I can't make that type of money off of you? So it's time for Shakur Stevenson to show out. And I think that Shakur Stevenson will show out, and he will show, look, that last fight, y'all won't see that type of performance from me no more. Even though he pitched the shutout, even though he did pitch the shutout, but I thought that he could have engaged a lot more, but he did what he had to do. But, you know, when you compare yourself to guys like Floyd Mayweather and all of that, we gotta know that Floyd Mayweather didn't fight like Shakur Stevenson fights when Floyd Mayweather was coming up in the game. When Floyd Mayweather was young like that. Floyd Mayweather didn't adapt that type of style until Floyd Mayweather was already established, till he was already a mega household name. So Shakur Stevenson, although you shutting these guys out, right? You can't really afford to fight like that until you become a mega household name. We saw what happened to Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux was a fighter like that. Great boxer, superb. Didn't get hit, right? But you see what they did to Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux didn't get a lot of chances that he should have got only because the promoters weren't messing with him like that. So Shakur Stevenson, he got to realize that in all these young fighters, they got to realize Floyd didn't become the mega billionaire that he is by fighting like that. Floyd was a knockout artist. Floyd was running through these dudes. Floyd was an exciting fighter. So if you want to put yourself on Floyd's level and put your name with Floyd, well, you got to sacrifice and do the things that Floyd did. And one of those things is being an exciting fighter. It sucks, right? It sucks, especially for people that understand boxing and then understand the sweet science, but that's just what it is. If you want to be a mega name, you got to be exciting in the ring. Zenna 360 salute. He says if Haney was fighting Tank, if Haney or Tank was fighting Concessio or whatever his name is, he said they would say it was cherry picked. Yeah, they would, because a lot of people just talk. They don't know shit about boxing. It's definitely not a cherry pick because that dude can fight. That's gonna be a very tough fight for my man Oscar Valdez. Like I said, that's going to be a tough fight for Oscar Valdez. But he's not going to get the win against Oscar Valdez unless he knocks him out. Zenith, he says Floyd was beating the hell out of everyone. He dismantled Diego Corrales and he says, and he was a Corrales fan. Yep. He said that's when he knew Floyd was real. That's some real shit. Floyd was beating the shit out them dudes, but Floyd was exciting. But see, a lot of these kids think, oh, I could, you know what I'm saying, I could fight like Floyd did in his later years and I could become a mega superstar. You can't. Floyd was already a mega superstar household name by the time he started fighting like that. But Floyd still gave you exciting fights. Marcos Maidana first fight was exciting. The Canelo Alvarez, he ain't backed down from Canelo. He stood right there. So he still gave y'all, you know, great fights. So yeah, and y'all make sure that y'all hit my like button. Y'all make sure that y'all hit my like button. That's all I ask of you. Hit my like button. If you can't support the channel no other way, hit the like button. And I appreciate y'all. You know, we will be back tomorrow. I've been on here for 2 hours and almost 5 minutes. So we're going to wrap it up now. I appreciate everybody. Make sure that you hit the like button. We will be back tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the Keith Thurman and Tank Davis. I'm going to be talking about a lot of other things going on. So make sure that you join in and tune in tomorrow. But with that being said, Once again, I appreciate everybody. And there you go talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.